Okay, we're going to start with the Punch, with the Nation. Recruitment, police turned down over 190,000 applicants. Former Army Chief Chris Ali dies at 79. Danjuma donates $1.36 million to University of Ibadan. State government open security vote accounts with CBN. Shaibu dares Obaseki joins race for governor. Twist in Osun government, judiciary clash. OAUTH admin director suspended over job racketeering. Appeal court sacks another governor. And Navy destroys 5,000 barrels of crude in Ondo. Okay, which story are we starting with?
Just start with the major headline.
Major headline.
So, according to the Police Service Commission, about 190,741 of the 547,777 applicants who applied to join the police force were dropped for failure to meet conditions such as age and inappropriate credentials and inadequate physical fitness. And also the states like Lagos and Bayelsa had, and some Southeast states, had no applicants coming from them at all. So according to the Police Service Commission, former Inspector Solomon Arase, former IG Solomon Arase, before I murder him, had said that these two states had no applicants from them by state of origin and such application, but they had some other states that applied and they had to drop about 190,000. I'm looking at the story open to meet character credentials of these people, because sometimes you find former criminals in the police service and then they come in and corrupt the police itself. But they said, this was what happened. According to them, Kaduna had about 40,000. They topped the list. Anambra had about 1,664 applicants. They were the lowest. Adamawa had 36,000 applicants. Borno had 32,000 plus applicants. Benue, 31. Katsina, 30. And, across like that. But Lagos, nobody at all. Bayelsa, none at all. And some southeastern states, too, had none at all.
Okay. Let me take T.Y. Danjuma Foundation. So, former Defense Minister, Lieutenant General Theophilus Danjuma donated over $1.3 million to College of Medicine, University of Ibadan, to build a hostel. According to, it was donated by the T.Y. Danjuma Foundation and was represented by his wife, Senator Daisy Danjuma, who was accompanied by her sisters to the school. The sum will be used to build the Block D of the hostel. It's said to be the largest donation so far by any individual towards project. We've always said on this table that we need more of our philanthropists, rich people in Nigeria, to donate to the universities, especially to support education. So he is supporting to build this block for the hostel. So the provost, Professor Olayinka Omigbodu, announced the donation during the briefing by the College of Medicine, University of Lagos in Ibadan. And I'm pretty excited about this donation because that will be to help about 664 students. According to the building is designed to house 664 students of the college. Somebody was went to OU recently, and she was talking about how big, like probably the largest university in the whole of Africa, or maybe Sub-Saharan Africa.
And don't say that.
Well, they say that.
ABU Zaria, please.
They say, according to what they said, it's probably one of the biggest. One of the biggest. So, but
the Southwest.
It has dilapidated somewhere. So we need more people, more donations like this for OU, especially those big guys, Unilag, the UIs, the OU. Those are the pride of and
the country.
ABU Zaria.
Thank you.
These are the Nigerian pride. And Unsuka, University of Nigerian Schools.
And they watch all of them dilapidate.
We need more philanthropy.
Hostels are they're like dump sites right now.
So we need more.
All across federal universities, it is a sorry site.
Very efficient VCs, because I would never forget during my time at the university, the VC at the time was so amazing. Everyone talked about his work. He upgraded the facade and everything about ABU, So sometimes we need to also put people that understand why they are there.
Capacity.
I will take the story. Governors, they say henceforth withdraw their security votes from the CBN. The development followed an agreement that they had between 36 governors and the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit. So this agreement now is mandating all the state governments to open dedicated accounts for governor security votes with the CBN. So before this agreement, our governors would normally would get their monthly subventions from FAC, you know, and this would go into commercial banks. But now it's straight with the CBN, and if they have any reason to withdraw from it, straight from the CBN. This will also allow NFIU to monitor expenditure.
That's good.
So this seems like a very good way to also make sure that
now the CBN is turning to a bank instead of a policy.
Well, but for this case,
policy.
I understand that.
I
understand that, but this is also a way to keep an eye on where monies are going. We've heard how security votes have been used for burial before. So now.
Okay. They will still be used for burial.
Any nation? Let's move on now to the Punch. APC-PDP clash as appeal court sacks third opposition governor. Israel, Hamas, US, UN condemn school attack, deaths hit 14,000. Panel indicts OAUTH ex-CMD of massive job racketeering. Adeleke backtracks on acting CJ, APC knocks governor. Inflation jumps 24 times in 25 months, says report. Service extension, FGO 600 teachers, 23 months arrears. And I don't miss presidency much, says Buhari. Oh, nice story.
Yeah, so I think I'll take the Punch investigation. So their investigation has revealed that about 600 teachers in the Federal Civil Service, precisely under the Federal Ministry of Education and the Federal Ministry of Defense, who benefited from the Federal Government Service Elongation Package for teachers, are currently being owed 23-month salaries. And, you know, the Punch report says the service elongation for the teachers was introduced by the administration of the former president, President Muhammadu Buhari. And the beneficiary teachers are in some of the nation's unity schools, schools owned by the military and paramilitary. Now, remember that January 2021, the Federal Executive Council approved the bill that wanted to increase the retirement of age and the service years of the teachers. And the Minister of Education, Adamu, was the one who explained that the bill was to give legal backing for the approval of the new retirement age of 65 years from 60 years and, you know, extend the period of service from 35 years to 40 years. Now, the bill, according to him, was to also introduce bursary awards, special rural allowances, and other items that would encourage brilliant Nigerians to take up teaching, more like to, you know, bring them into the teaching profession. But they said they had, in April 2022, Buhari signed the harmonized bill into the law, backdating the implementation to January 2022. But investigations are now showing that the Federal Ministry of Education, in a memo dated January 26, told the teachers in the unity schools not to retire, but to continue in service ahead of the presidential assent by the president. So far, so good. They've not retired, but they have not been paid, running into 23 months, and they're asking why this is happening. Yes. So we need to know, should they be allowed, is the bill now law, should they be allowed to retire at 60 or wait till 65 years? They also mentioned that even though that they're going to be extending it to 65 years, they must carry out medical exam to be sure that the teachers are fit to continue till 65 years, but they need to get paid.
Okay, let's take another story in Punch.
Let's take the Adeleke story.
Go ahead.
So, you know, I took the story on Friday that Governor Ademola Adeleke of Osun State had suspended the Chief Judge of Osun State because of the House had recommended that the Chief Judge be suspended as to step aside while she was being investigated. And this was announced by one of his closest media aide. But he came back to us through the Commissioner of Information to say that he did not ask that the an acting chief judge be sworn in by his deputy governor. Neither did he state that there was going to be an acting chief judge, that he simply wrote a letter of recommendation to the Chief Justice of Nigeria to appoint the next in line, recommending the appointment of the next most senior judge in Osun State, and informing him of the suspension of the chief judge of Osun State pending an investigation. So the back and forth shall lead to both parties, APC and PDP, you know.
All right, let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Punch.
I have a story. So our former president, Muhammadu Buhari, in his very first interview since he handed over to the present administration, he was talking with NTA, and he was asked, you know, many questions, but they said that this is just a little bit of the interview. If you want to know more, you should wait 10:30 p.m. today. It will be shown But he was asked if there was anything that he missed about, or he misses about, you know, being a president. And he says, I don't think I miss much. And he said that because his best, he realized that for Nigerians, his best was not good enough.
Aww.
And I believe I'm trying my best, but still my best is not good enough. I wonder if I'm going to miss much. I think I'm being harassed, he remarked. So he's feeling quite underappreciated or unappreciated. But I guess we'll hear more. I saw a little clip of it. And, you know, when he was asked, he was like, miss, and he laughed, you know. He has that kind of dry sense of humor like that. So I'm looking forward to seeing that.
It's not easy to lead this country, you know. Never easy. Let me take, trust me, we're not living in our homes or living in our, Okay, an investigative panel set up by the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare on Sunday revealed why some health workers at OAU, that's Obafemi Awolowo University Teaching Hospital, were not paid. According to the report, the Chief Medical Director, Dr. Olumuyiwa, that's the former Chief Medical Director, Dr. Olumuyiwa Owoju-Igbe, was involved in overemployment, job management, job racketeering in the hospital without provision of personnel budget. According to them, he had employed over 1,900 staff in the hospital when he was supposed to and there were only 450 vacancies approved by the head of civil service. So they had lamented that they had to resort to begging. Many of the workers at OAUTH had lamented that they resorted to begging to feed their families due to the hardship of non-payment of salaries subjected to them. And this was because this man had some job racketeering that was going on where monies were being siphoned, money to pay salaries were being siphoned. So this was addressed, and the panel said that we understand the difficulties being faced by numerous innocent health workers, but we'll do our best to resolve it equitably. And the investigation was complete. And well, I guess now that the investigation is complete, they found him to be guilty, and then they'll be probably prosecuted for what he did. Moving on now to the next paper, which is Vanguard. Rumble in judiciary over nomination of justices. Inflation, declining demand triggers 20% fall in food beverage production. 4 years after Magu opens up, says corruption Nigeria's greatest problem. Rex appointment, Sarah budget, others sue Tinubu. Plateau Appeal Court sacks Governor Muftwang, declares Goshwe winner. Suspected CJ, confusion as Governor Adeleke reverses self. And instead of the nation, what Tinubu will force us to do, says body judge. Okay?
Plateau State is in the news. So the Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja yesterday nullified the election of the current governor, Governor Caleb Mutfwang of Plateau State. So all in all, they're just saying that he's not the valid governor of Plateau State. And it has to do with the fact that the APC candidate had gone to court. He was not satisfied with the outcome of the election, so he had gone to court. And based on that, the appeal court said that there were some pre-election matters. It seems he had not. They said so. He's a PDP candidate, and they said there's no proper PDP structure or party within the state for them to have, to have the election that he had or the votes that he had. So all the votes that he garnered. So at the time of the election, he got 525,299 votes, while the APC candidate got 481,370. So he's the second person. They said all those votes are wasted because he was not a valid candidate of the PDP. The PDP didn't even have a structure. That's according to the APC. But of course, it seems that the appeal court also agrees. And so they said the certificate of return should be returned and given to the next candidate. But the governor has said that this is just a minor setback. In fact, it's not a setback. He's still dedicated to taking Plateau State forward, and that they're going to the Supreme Court.
This is just a lesson. Yeah. It happened last term for Zamfara, when parties fail to hold world congresses, and then a court rules that you must do it. Obey court order, because we don't want to get here. It's now seeming like one party is taking back states. Follow the rule.
Yeah.
I don't like
So the Socioeconomic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, Budget and 34 other concerned Nigerians have sued President Bola Ahmed Tinubu over the alleged appointment of some members of the All Progressive Congress, APC, and allies of high-ranking politicians as new resident electoral commissioners, that's RECs, for the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. The Senate had confirmed appointments of 7 out of 10 newly appointed RECs for INEC. And they said the alleged APC members appointed as RECs are from Akwa Ibom, Edo, Lagos, and Rivers State. So they are, filing this suit. They filed it last Friday at the Federal High Court in Lagos, and they are seeking an order to set aside the nomination and confirmation and appointment of the alleged APC members as RECs for INEC for being unconstitutional, unlawful, null and void, and of no effect. They quoted the Nigerian Constitution as well, saying that this does not align with what is meant to be. But there's something very important here I would like to read that they said treating INEC as a line department accountable to bureaucratic higher-ups and high-ranking politicians rather than an independent and impartial body of the is anti-ethical to constitutional and international standards and the notion of rule of law. The use of the word non-partisan means that those to be appointed to conduct credible elections must not be people who openly identify or belong into a political party whose occupation is in politics. So they are saying that there's no date fixed yet for the court, but I think the government needs to look into this. We need to be sure that INEC is non-partisan.
So I have the inflation story, and it's such a heartbreaking one. Manufacturers of food and beverages have reduced their production by 20%, following, of course, declining demand from consumers. And this is largely as a result of rising prices reflected in our food inflation rate, which is 31.52% in October. They said that the fall in demand is because of, low patronage. And they've also had finished goods that they've not been able to sell. Unsold finished goods rose to about 34.03% year on year, from 34.03% to 78.82 billion in 9 months, starting from ending at the 30th of September 2023. This is not encouraging for employment at all. If these manufacturers keep shutting down businesses, people will be jobless. That's the basic truth. They said we should recall that our inflation rate continues to rise by 5.95% to 26.72% in September, continuously increasing. And this is because due to high energy costs, insecurity, and so many other factors that are affecting production businesses. I hope that the trade and investment, or which other ministry is involved in all of this, should be focused and start to give us strategic steps, as the Ministry of Interior had to do, strategic steps to meet and address these issues. We can't have people out of jobs with the economic situation right now.
So the Deputy Governor of Edo State is insisting on running. He's from Edo North, and although the governor had preferred Shaibu, yes, so despite the signals from the governor of Edo State currently, who's insisting on a certain zoning formula for Edo, Shaibu, who is his deputy, is insisting that he's most fit to run because he's been in government with the governor. He added that the incumbent deputy governor is the most prepared to succeed Obaseki. He said, I am not insisting on contesting. The ambition of becoming deputy governor was not mine, but I made myself available. Now, the ambition to be governor is also not mine. I'm just making myself available. Don't forget that the destinies of people are interconnected and interwoven. There is no convention in Edo State where we met to say, this is how the zoning should be. So I should be allowed to do
the
what
best man win.
The point. Nigerians react as more governors lose seats over technicalities. Criminals now disguised as food vendors sell drug cakes, others in schools, says NDLEA. Incessant jailbreaks, almost 4,000 escapees still on the loose, says investigation. Okay, which story?
Okay, so according to the zonal commander, Zone 1 of the NDLEA, which is in Osun State, Joyce Titus Awogui, she said she disclosed during the Drug Abuse Prevention Town Hall meeting with principals of schools in Oshogbo recently that some food vendors go to schools, apply to sell foods, and then they disguise and start to sell drugs. Some of them, mix this in food substances, which they sell to list them in cakes and cookies, which they also sell to students. They had trailed one of such packages from Lagos to Osun State and found the vendor who said a parent ordered that Canadian Loud be mixed with cake for their child's birthday.
Did they know? I mean,
They
I don't understand.
arrested someone who confessed that why she ordered Canadian lard because she had a pre-order from a parent to mix it in cake that she was going to bake
For children.
for a child's birthday. You know, and
Okay,
so they were
so something
sensitizing
is wrong.
schools to
I can't be
start to...
correct. I'm sure that they... I'm not saying they're right. I'm just saying that...
Okay, maybe she was making it
Yeah,
up.
making it up.
Yes,
Because-
Yes.
But now they've, you know, they have used it to sensitize schools to now be very vigilant about, you know, those
You know,
people
schools-
trading within schools. You know?
Okay, we have to run, unfortunately. But
This is scary.
let's talk about scary.
Send my child to school, I eat birthday
Man,
cake.
I'm
and
telling
Let's
you,
go on a
it's
break.
loud.
Know the kind of
When we return, we want to the hot topic of today. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.